What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the Big Fight Field channel. We got a lot to talk about, man. I tweeted out earlier today that I haven't filmed, I haven't recorded a podcast on here in a week. And it's literally felt like a month since I've last hit the record button and recorded a podcast. Now we're back. A week later, I'm back. Just got home from my vacation in Orlando, Tampa Bay, Clearwater for a couple days. Very nice, fun vacation. I got sunburned, of course. That's what happens to Irishmen like me, redheads. You put sunscreen on, it doesn't matter. You get burnt. You don't tan. You just get burnt. It is what it is. But I'm back, man. And I'm caught up on everything. Got home. Watched Big Business. Watched SmackDown. Got to see a little bit of Raw live on Monday night. Like, I saw about 2 hours of it. I'm pretty sure, like, after the Cody segment from Monday, which I still have to go back and watch. I got to see Raw live, or watch it live. But we got a lot to talk about, man. We have matches made official for Wrestlemania, more matches for Wrestlemania, a fantastic Big Business show for AEW. We have news on Darby Allin that came out tonight, which we'll talk about when we get to the AEW portion of this video. I hate combining the two companies together while making a video, but I didn't have a choice. I thought Wednesday there would be an opportunity for me to do a Big Business review. There was not. I had plans going on Wednesday night. It is what it is. So, we're going to run it here tonight. I hate doing combination videos. But we got to do what we got to do. So in the first half of this video, we're going to talk about what happened in WWE this week, SmackDown tonight, matches were made for WrestleMania. I thought SmackDown was great tonight. And then Big Business. We're going to talk about that in the second half of this video. So I thank you so much for joining me. We got so much content here on the channel. But now that we are back from vacation, a nice little after spring break vacation for me, I am so focused and locked in on this content and producing content here on Big Fight Field channel. Tonight, we're going to talk about what happened this week. Tomorrow, big video coming tomorrow. It's going to be my first Miami Dolphins video since I made the season recap video 2 months ago. And we are going to be talking about the entire week of what happened in free agency with the Miami Dolphins, which looked like it was going down a downward slope. It was going downhill, and then Chris Greer found its way into positivity. I thought the Miami Dolphins had a very good free agency. They may or might not be done, but so far, man, I think Chris Greer is doing a good job. He's not hitting home runs, but he's hitting doubles, and he's getting RBIs in. We're going to talk more about it tomorrow. Miami Dolphins free agency, and then I got some other ideas, man. I'm really debating. I'm debating about not doing Sixers content. I did Sixers content last year for the playoffs because the team was good, and I thought that I would have a chance to talk about something special. I don't think that's the case this year. So I'm really thinking about replacing something else with the 76ers. I'm going to make a decision soon, and I'm going to let you guys know on here and on Twitter. And then, obviously, we have a huge week coming up. The first week of April. The first weekend of April. It's the biggest weekend of the entire year. It's WrestleMania weekend, okay? WrestleMania weekend in Philadelphia. I'm so excited. And I tweeted it out before I hit record. And I'm going to say the tweet because why not, man? I said, I'm not exaggerating just because I'm going to both nights in person. But in my 15 years of watching pro wrestling, I've never been as excited for WrestleMania as I am for this year in Philly. The build for WrestleMania has been incredible. I cannot wait to get to Philadelphia. We are going to be vlogging both nights in Philly. We're going to be going to NXT on Saturday afternoon. We're going to both nights of WrestleMania. I'm very excited. I'm very excited, man. Be sure to subscribe to the Big Fight Field channel. I have so much for you guys. I have so much stuff that I want to talk about. So, be sure to subscribe. Let's talk about the world of wrestling. We're going to get into WWE first. The biggest things that happened in WWE this week is we have more matches made official for WrestleMania. So we're going to talk about some WrestleMania matches that were made this week. And we're going to get into the Rock concert that happened tonight. Absolutely electric, quote unquote. Stealing a catchphrase from the great one himself. But we have 4 new matches made for WrestleMania. The card is starting to round up. It's looking really nicely. I expected one of the matches to have a stipulation. There's still time to put a stipulation in that match. We did have Monday Night Raw, the gauntlet match with Chad Gable and Sami Zayn being the last 2, and I'm happy for Sami Zayn, man. I love Sami Zayn. I think he's incredible, but the reaction on social media when Sami Zayn pinned Chad Gable was not received well. Fans were mad that Sami Zayn won this gauntlet match again and got himself an Intercontinental Championship match against Gunther at WrestleMania. Now, listen, I kind of agree. I love Sami Zayn, but man, what they were telling this story with Chad Gable, how he can't stop thinking about his daughter crying in the front row when he lost to Gunther, and the smirk on Gunther's face when his daughter cried, and how Chad Gable wanted to take the smirk off of Gunther's face and put it on his daughter's while raising the Intercontinental Championship at WrestleMania, the championship he wants to win. Man, they had such a great story with Chad Gable and Gunther, that it was almost, it's too hard to pass up on, man. It's too hard to pass up on. And they didn't go with that option. They went with Sami Zayn and his story of winning championship gold. And now he's going to challenge for championship gold at WrestleMania. It's going to be Sami Zayn going one-on-one against Gunther. There is a contract signing happening on Raw Monday, and Sami Zayn was a little frustrated. He was a little upset by the social media reaction. I don't have the exact tweet in front of me, but I did see a tweet that Sami was mad. Sami was a little upset by the social media reaction to everything that transpired on social media after he won the gauntlet match. But You know, maybe we get that Chad Gable Gunther match down the line, but at WrestleMania, it's going to be Sami Zayn. And I have absolutely no problem with that. They're going to have an incredible match. They're two great wrestlers. They're going to tell a great story. Who's going to come out winning that match? It's a good question. That is a good question. So that was the big thing that happened on Raw Monday night. So they made that match official. They also made a 6-pack tag team ladder match for the tag team titles. So everybody wanted a ladder match. They wanted a ladder match for the U.S. title. They wanted a ladder match for the Intercontinental title so that both Sami Zayn and Chad Gable can get shots at the Intercontinental Championship. But Triple H went on, and he was like, nah, you know what? We're going to have a ladder match at WrestleMania, but we're going to do it for the tag team titles, which I love me the chaos. But 12 people, 12 wrestlers in a ladder match sounds like an absolute clusterfuck waiting to happen. But I'm here for it, baby. I'm here for it. And Raw and SmackDown are doing two totally different styles of the way to get into this ladder match. So we could start with the SmackDown side of things tonight, since it already happened. On SmackDown, they're doing Bracket 1 and Bracket 2. So Bracket 1, it started tonight. They had the LWO take on Legado del Fantasma. Fantasma won that match. They had Pretty Deadly wrestle New Catch Republic again. New Catch Republic won again. So now, in a couple weeks, in 2 weeks, I think, it'll be the New Catch Republic taking on Legado del Fantasma, and the winner of that match is going to WrestleMania. And then next week, they're starting Bracket 2, which they're going to do the Street Profits versus the Authors of Pain, and they're going to do Grayson Waller and Austin Theory against the OC. So I expect the Street Profits to beat the AOP somehow. I expect Waller and Theory to beat the OC. And then somehow the Final Testament is going to cost the Street Profits the match to get into WrestleMania. And I see Theory and Waller getting into the WrestleMania match along with the New Catch Republic. So that's what I see happening on SmackDown. And then for Raw, they just have 3 qualifying matches. So on Monday night, you're getting The Miz and R-Truth against Indus Sher. I expect Miz and Truth to win that match. That is an absolute no-brainer. DIY versus the Creeds. The Creed brothers. Probably the hardest match to predict, but I'm going to go with DIY on that one. They've been feuding with the Judgment Day, being buddy-buddy with The Miz and R-Truth. And then the other match, we have the New Day against Otis and Akira Tozawa. I'm expecting the New Day to win that one. So the 6-team ladder match, it's looking like the New Day, DIY, The Miz and R-Truth, New Catch Republic, Theory and Waller, and the Judgment Day. So there you go. That should be a chaotic 12-man ladder match for the tag team titles. But you know what? I'm here for it. Now, the matches that were made tonight on SmackDown, very telling. You could, not clearly, I mean, yeah. You could tell by the direction that this was the direction they were going in. They made LA Knight versus AJ Styles official tonight. LA Knight cut a pretty good promo on AJ Styles. AJ Styles laid him out with a steel chair shot and accepted his challenge. That one was pretty much confirmed at Elimination Chamber when AJ flew all the way to Australia to cost LA Knight a chance at the World Heavyweight Championship. So they're going at it at WrestleMania. Jimmy and Jay. Jay challenged Jimmy to a match in a 3-minute segment on Raw. Not even 3 minutes, maybe 2. And then tonight, Jimmy cut a backstage promo, and he's saying how last year at WrestleMania, we walked in together as a team, and now this year, we're going up against each other face to face. And Jimmy said, "You want me at WrestleMania?" And his answer was yeet. So we're getting brother versus brother. And I have a hard time. I'm having a hard time thinking that they're just going to do a singles match between these two guys. With the WrestleMania being in Philly, the city of brotherly love, okay? Brotherly love. Doing a brotherly love street fight is almost too good to pass up on. If I'm WWE, I'd put these two in a street fight and go have an absolute banger and go steal the show at WrestleMania. Seriously. Put these two in a brotherly love street fight and go steal the show. And then the other match that was made official, Logan Paul. He's been looking for a challenger for the U.S. Championship, and Nick Aldis gave him 2. He gave him two challengers. He's defending the U.S. Championship against Kevin Owens and Randy Orton. So there you go. We now have 9 matches. And actually 10. With 5 matches added this week. We have 10 matches made official for WrestleMania. With more on the way, I'm sure. So, I would probably think there's going to be, I would think there's a couple more matches added to the WrestleMania card. So, I'd be shocked if WWE does 5 matches a night. I would actually be kind of disappointed with the amount of money that I paid for WrestleMania, and I'm only getting 5 matches a night. If I get 6, that's cool with me. Because the show starts at 7 o'clock. If I get 6 matches a night, that is totally okay with me. That's fine with me, man. So, that is everything that happened this week. And the Rock concert. The Rock concert was tonight. And what he sang in his song was he sang about Cody. He sang about Seth Rollins and how his wife, Becky Lynch, is more popular than him. He dresses like a clown. He dances and giggles all the time. I don't remember the exact words. And then he called him an embarrassment. He said, "You're an embarrassment, just like John Morant waving a gun." And I laughed my ass off with that one, man. That was hilarious. And he also had another line, too. It was during Cody and how Cody was a mistake. And he referenced something with a condom with his family. And I was watching the segment with my brother. He fucking laughed his ass off. The Rock is very entertaining, man. And then the other one, he made a reference to Stardust. The Rock made a reference to Stardust on the Rock concert. And then, after that concert, he proceeds to go ahead and cut the best promo of the year so far, talking to Cody's mother. And after last week, where we talked about that segment where the tag team match was made official, after Cody slapped The Rock, Cody went on Raw. Again, I can't talk about the segment. I haven't watched it yet. I have to go back and watch it. But Cody went on Raw in a sit-down interview with Michael Cole, and he said, I can't physically hand the championship over to my father, Dusty. And the only one that I have left is my mother. That's the only person that I have left, my mother, Michelle Rubio. So I have to be able to hand the championship over to her and do it for her. And then The Rock absolutely blasted his poor mother. And while The Rock is cutting a total asshole heel promo about Cody Rhodes' mother, this fucker got cheered. He got cheered in Memphis, cutting a heel promo on Cody Rhodes. So The Rock was a babyface tonight. He then had his own leather belt with his logo, and he says, after I whip your son and his blood is all over this belt and your tears are all over this belt of sadness, your tears of sadness are all over this belt, I'm going to whisper on over to you and say, what can I say except you're welcome? Dude, he's unbelievable. Unbelievable segment from The Rock tonight. The concert was awesome, but the promo was better. The promo from The Rock was better. And for all the people that are complaining that The Rock is taking the spotlight away from Roman Reigns, you are literally getting a face-to-face between Cody and Roman Reigns to sell their match for WrestleMania next week. You're getting it next week. So, this was awesome. Will I be watching the face-to-face next week? Probably on highlights because I'll be watching March Madness next weekend. So, but yeah, we got new matches made for WrestleMania. The Rock concert tonight, incredible stuff. Absolutely incredible stuff. And now we are going to transition over to AEW. And we're going to talk about big business and everything that happened on that show this week. And before we do that, there was news that came out tonight. News on Darby Allin. Darby Allin had a match against Switchblade Jay White at Big Business. They had a great match. Jay White won clean. He turned on, attacked Darby, and the Bang Bang Scissor Gang is no more. Thank God that it is over. And Darby, unfortunately, he broke his foot after Wednesday's Dynamite, and he tweeted out the following. He said, unfortunately, the foot's really broke from Wednesday's match. Mount Everest will have to be next year. He cannot climb Mount Everest with a broken foot. And I think I hope Darby Allin has a speedy recovery. He broke his foot 2 2 minutes into that match, doing a swanton bomb off the top turnbuckle onto Jay White, standing on the outside. And Jay White caught him. Jay White caught him when he did the swanton onto the outside. And he broke his foot. And that sucks. That is a shame. And I wish Darby Allin absolutely nothing but the best in his recovery. He's going to be out for a while. But this could be a sign to, like, hey, Darby, you know, this idea of climbing Mount Everest, it might not be a good idea, bro. Just don't do it. But this guy intends on climbing Mount Everest. And he's going to do it next year. He said it's going to have to be next year. He was supposed to leave on March 27th to go climb Mount Everest. And I'm watching this, and I don't know the news doing. When I'm catching up on Dynamite, I don't know the news about Darby Allin yet. I found out this news during SmackDown. So when I see the angle that they have the chair wrapped around his foot, and they injured his foot, I'm like, okay, that's a way to write him off. They just wrote off Darby Allin. They just wrote him off television so he can go and climb Mount Everest. But he's not climbing Mount Everest because he's got a broken foot now. And I don't know when he's going to be back, but when he gets back, whether it's in 6 months, 7 months, 8 months, man, he's got a feud with Jay White to continue right when he comes back. So, there you go. I hope nothing but the best for Darby in his recovery from the broken foot. So, that was the AEW news today, and I kind of wanted to talk about that in the beginning. But the biggest news during the week was everything surrounding Mercedes Mone. And you see it, first topic in the title of this video. Mercedes Mone is all elite. This is an absolute huge deal. She looked incredible. She is already over. I love her theme song. The CEO chants in her theme song. Unique. Genius. Really, really clever. And she is already extremely over. I thought she cut a very good promo. It was very similar to CM Punk's debut in AEW. They waited a couple seconds before the music playing. The only difference was when Punk's music hit, people knew instantly it was him. When her music hit, people waited a couple seconds. Then they saw CEO on the Titantron. I'm like, okay, this is Mercedes. This is Mercedes Mone. But she's in AEW. She is the highest paid women's wrestler in the history of professional wrestling. I'm sure people are going to be mad about that one. Really mad about that one. As if they aren't mad about Okada being paid $14 million. They're going to be mad about this. So, but I thought it was great. And she cut a great promo. And she is continuing her feud with Willow Nightingale from New Japan Pro Wrestling, which I'm a fan of because they have unfinished business. Mercedes got injured in that match against Willow Nightingale, and I believe that was the last time she's wrestled. I think. I can't remember if she had a match after that, but she's all elite, and it seems like, I don't know when they're going to do the match, but her first match is going to be against Willow Nightingale. But There is so many fucking dream matches that you can do with this woman in AEW. I mean, you're talking Mercedes Mone versus Britt Baker, Mercedes Mone versus Chris Statlander, Mercedes Mone versus Jamie Hayter. A match a lot of people probably want to see in Wembley Stadium is Mercedes Mone against Toni Storm. Now, if she is back in time for Wembley Stadium, I'm giving that match to Jamie Hayter 100%. I would do Jamie Hayter against Toni Storm at Wembley Stadium. That's only if Jamie Hayter is ready to go. You have Mercedes Mone versus Thunder Rosa. Mercedes Mone versus Serena Deeb. There's a lot of women, a lot of talented women in that locker room that you can put Mercedes in the ring with, and it'll be fucking great. And it seems like the first one is going to be Willow Nightingale, which I have no issue with at all. Because you don't want to throw her in the title scene immediately. You want to play smart with Mercedes. You don't want to do with Mercedes what they are doing with Deonna Purrazzo. See, Deonna Purrazzo came into AEW and she immediately got into a feud with Toni Storm. Where's Deonna Purrazzo going to go when she's done feuding with Toni Storm? She's going to go nowhere. I'm telling you right now. So, Tony Khan knows how valuable Mercedes is, and he's not going to fuck up Mercedes. I doubt he's going to fuck up Mercedes. And if Mercedes being in AEW means that we're going to get more women's main eventing on Dynamite like we did this week with Willow Nightingale and Riho, then I'm all for it. I'm all for it, man. Because AEW now has a good enough women's roster where they should showcase it in high-profile spots instead of 9:30 right before the main event. So I think women are going to the main event more often, which is great. Other stuff that happened on this show, we had a 6-man tag with the Elite, the Young Bucks, and Kazuchika Okada. They beat Penta. They beat the returning Pac, who looks phenomenal. And they beat Eddie Kingston. And the story in this match was Eddie Kingston desperately tried to get his hands on Okada because he wanted revenge. He wanted revenge from last week when Okada laid him out. And this week, it got the best of him. Pac and Penta were taken out. It was 3-on-1. I believe it was Nicholas who low-blowed Eddie Kingston. And then he got hit immediately into a Rainmaker by Okada. And Okada pinned Eddie Kingston in the middle of the ring to win them the match. And on last week's Dynamite Review, I predicted that you might as well hand over Okada the Continental Crown title at Dynasty because there's no way he's losing to Eddie Kingston. And they're not even going to wait. They're not even going to wait until Dynasty because we are getting this match on free television. I can't wait for Wednesday night. We're getting Okada versus Eddie Kingston for the Continental Crown Championship Wednesday on Dynamite. And on Wednesday, Okada is going to be crowned Continental Crown Champion. So, 2 weeks into the company, and Okada is in the biggest heel faction in AEW. He is getting paid $14 million by the boss, and he is going to take the Continental Crown Championship away from Eddie Kingston. I love it, man. I love it. Okada is going to be just fine in AEW. Will Ospreay versus Bryan Danielson was made official for AEW Dynasty. They was made official on Collision last week. Ospreay cut a promo in Boston. Fine stuff. He talked about his passion for Bryan Danielson and how much Bryan Danielson respects him. But he says, to think you're the best wrestler in the world, you got to prove it by beating Bryan Danielson, which is something Will Ospreay has never done. And there was no Bryan Danielson in the segment. But Will Ospreay cut a damn good promo. And he's very charismatic as well. So, good stuff there. And then Samoa Joe, he beat Wardlow. I forgot about that match for a second. But, yeah, they had a very good match. There was no way Wardlow was going to beat Samoa Joe. And Samoa Joe beat him with the Coquina Clutch. Wardlow passed out. So, AEW's on fire, man. AEW is on fire right now. They had a fantastic episode of Big Business, and I'm looking forward to this week. We have 2 huge matches on Dynamite in Toronto. We have, as I just said, Kazuchika Okada versus Eddie Kingston for the Continental Crown Championship. And what I think is going to be the main event, for the TNT Championship, we have an I Quit match between Adam Copeland and Christian Cage. So that's everything I got for you with happened this week. In WWE, we had 5 new matches made for WrestleMania. We had The Rock's concert tonight, and then AEW. Want to talk about Big Business. So again, I hate combining the 2 in together with one video, but it's what I had to do this week. But this week coming up, next week, back to normal business. Don't know if I'll make a video in the beginning of the week, but we will have Dynamite on Wednesday here for you guys. So I'll be back with a video tomorrow. We're going to talk about Miami Dolphins free agency and everything that happened this week in Dolphins free agency, which was very good in my opinion. Be sure to subscribe to the Big Fight Fuel channel. Comment down below your thoughts about everything that transpired this week in the world of professional wrestling. Hit the like button if you like what you heard from me. Follow me on Twitter, Conlon_Joseph, and I will see you guys tomorrow to talk a little bit about the Miami Dolphins. I'm out. I'll see you tomorrow. Peace. I'm out.